pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If I can ask the town clerk to do a roll call, please.
Councilman McCuskey.
Here.
Councilman Hoyt.
Here.
Councilman Deshane.
Here.
And Mr. Reg.
Here. Okay. At this point of the meeting, I would like to, as is my prerogative as supervisor, to bring forth resolution, a resolution for which I don't have a number. What's our next number, Council?
I don't know.
All right. We have a resolution, whereas there exists a vacant town council seat on the Town of Grafton Town Board for a term expiring on December 31st, 2027. And whereas an election was held in the Town of Grafton to fill the vacancy for said seat on November 5th, 2024. And whereas the result of the election was that the voters of the Town of Grafton elected Nancy LaRocque to fill the vacant town council seat effective January 1st, 2025 to complete the term expiring on December 31st, 2027. And whereas the Town of Grafton Town Board is desirous of restoring the board to its full membership of 5 council members effective immediately, now therefore be it resolved that the Town of Grafton hereby appoints Nancy LaRocque to fill the vacant town council seat during the remainder of this calendar year until December 31st, 2024. I'd like to make a motion to move this resolution. May I have a second? All right, let the record show that this resolution was moved forward by the supervisor and failed to achieve a second this evening. All right. The next order of business is we have a review and approval of minutes. We have the regular town board meeting from October 16th, the budget workshop from October 21st, the budget workshop meeting from November 1st, and the emergency town board meeting of November 2nd. I would like to make a motion to approve these minutes. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman McCuskey. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, for reports and remittances from department heads and town committees, we have our monthly supervisor reports, which are available on the supervisors page, dedicated page on the town website. And they're also available in paper copies should anyone like to have them. I'd also like to just take a moment to acknowledge that for the first time in 9 years, last week I took ill, and I had the good fortune of having my deputy supervisor, Doug LaRocque, step in and assume the duties of supervisor on my behalf. He actually chaired a meeting, our first public hearing of the budget. I can't thank him enough for his ability to do that for me at a moment's notice. I thank everyone for their well wishes for me to get better, and I specifically thank the town board and the town clerk and the town attorney for working with Doug LaRocque during my absence. But I'm back in the saddle, so to speak, effective 4 o'clock this afternoon, so you're not going to get rid of me that easily. So, thank you all.
Thank you, Doug.
Yes.
Thank you, Doug.
You did a great job.
All right, the town clerk's report.
For the month of October, we took in a total of $4,088.60. The checks that were issued to the Ag and Market and Encon totaled $429.41. And the check given to the supervisor was $3,659.19.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to accept the town clerk's report. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Deshane. I believe that's a roll call.
Councilwoman Deshane,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilman McCuskey,
Yes.
and Supervisor Duncan.
Yes.
Okay, and also, we have a tote that's right by the window for the town clerk, by the town clerk's office, that I put there for flags. I talked to the veterans. They had asked us before about putting a flag drop for flags that need to be
American flags that need to be properly
disposed of properly. and they asked if we maybe could put a box here, and so I have a tote by the door, and there has been flags dropped off.
Nice.
And I'll also put that on the website.
Okay, thank you. Okay, highway superintendent.
Well, it's pretty good to report. We got a few more roads graded up. Got most everything, in fact, everything tomorrow will be finished for plow equipment's all ready to go for the winter. So maintenance done, everything is all oiled up, ready. So hopefully this weather holds out till probably like June, so we can, which would be nice, just to, we're gonna start ditching again next week, and hopefully we can just continue, as I'd rather get work done than look out the windows. So that's about it. You know, we're ready for winter, and like I said, I'd rather just continue with ditching. The mower's been running every day, just trying to keep the brush back. You know, I don't ever want to see the roads get turned into tunnels again. We've been working pretty hard keeping them pushed back. So that's really about it. Nothing, luckily nothing bad to report.
Great, thank you. Anyone else for Jared? Anyone have anything? No? Okay, all right, thank you, Jared. Okay, the assessor, have her here this evening. Hi.
Hello.
Do you want me to read your report, or do you?
That's fine.
All right. The Town of Grafton's Assessor's Report. In the month of October, we had 4 transfers, one of which was an arm's length transaction, and 3 were not arm's length. Foreclosures, transfers into trust or life estate. These sales consisted of residential properties. Varville Road, vacant land of $62,000, a 2-parcel sale. We are reviewing building permit information as they are received in addition to data collection and sales verification. Exemption renewal applications have been sent out. They are slowly coming back in. These forms are due back by March 1st, 2025. We also encourage anyone that may qualify are expected to go out in the next 2 weeks for an exemption, or if they are unsure if they qualify for an exemption, to reach out. We are happy to help. Respectfully submitted, Bobby Stone, Assessor. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Buildings and Codes Enforcement Officer?
We have 60 permits out year to date, which is a pretty busy year. Still a lot of new construction. I'd like to remind everybody that there's a state ban on fire, no burning, no campfires, no garbage cans, no nothing. The woods are as dry as they've ever been. Doesn't take much. We had one incident on Crandall Road that a little fire could have taken right off with a windy day. So be mindful of that. Heating season's here. Make sure your chimneys and stoves are in working order. That's about it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The Planning Board Chairman, I don't see Martha here this evening. Again, the Planning Board meetings are the 3rd Monday of every month at 7 p.m.
Yep.
Is that accurate? Okay. The Grafton Rescue Squad?
Okay, let's see, we had 21 calls, 77 man hours, 559 miles traveled. We transported 11. We had 1 RMA, 7 cancel calls, 2 standbys. We had 8 alphas, 4 bravos, 4 charlies, 4 deltas, no echoes. We had 1 fire call. Mutual aid was given 3 times to Post and Kill, 2 times to Petersburg, and 1 time to Pittstown. Mutual aid received 2 times from Petersburg. We transported to Samaritan 7 times, 2 to SVMC, and 2 times Aldinette. And Andrea didn't put on the report, we just purchased the Lucas device, which is a CPR machine. It's very user-friendly. It's now in service, so saved the town a little bit better. We chose to buy one.
What was it called?
That's
A Lucas device?
Lucas.
Yeah.
LUCAS?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, great. And that's a defibrillator, Jeremy? Is that?
It's a CPR
Or
machine.
CPR? Okay.
Yeah. Instead of doing manual CPR, it now does it by machine.
Okay. Well, gotcha. Okay. All right. And related, but maybe for later down in the meeting, the bathroom is complete?
As far as I know, I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay, okay, great, good job.
Yes.
Okay, from the dog control officer, we have 4 calls. A yellow lab missing from South Long Pond. The dog found her own way home approximately a day and a half later. Ongoing issues with 2 dogs running loose in the vicinity of Banker School Way and South Long Pond. Dogs were surrendered and taken to Columbia Green. Dog running loose on Bailey Road, harassing neighbors and walkers. Owner contacted. Assisted state trooper with barking complaint / animal welfare check on Route 2. And the owners were contacted and given a week to work on the issues. We'll follow up and verify that the issues are resolved. Attended dog control officer training on October 26th. The next classes are the 6th and 7th of November. Can the town board please consider allowing me to issue dog licenses? If I show up to a house and they have proof of rabies vaccine, I could issue licenses on the spot. Petersburg currently has this practice in place, and I'm still working on ideas for temporary housing. So that's certainly an interesting dog licenses on the spot. Anything you'd like to weigh in with that, Mr. Danaher?
I think she just doesn't want to work with our town clerk.
Oh.
Oh, I'm kidding. Normally those are issued through the town clerk, but if you want to designate the animal control officer as also being enabling to give out, you can. We can do a resolution.
Okay. All right, let's consider that a little
Okay,
further.
just talk to
Rather
her.
than go on, rather than
Okay.
address it tonight. Okay. All right. The Recreation Committee, we have Nancy LaRocque.
Okay, the Recreation Committee is having a Christmas sing-along on the 9th at the Baptist Church. It's going to be the churches in the area, their choruses singing. We weren't able to get to school this year. We're going to have cookies, coffee, tea, hot cocoa afterwards in the basement of the Baptist Church. It's going to start at 6:30. At the gazebo, where we're going to have the tree lighting. And then from there, we'll go in, we'll have the choruses sing, and then we'll have a sing-along until about 7:30. And then we'll have refreshments downstairs until 8:30. We are putting the tree up in the gazebo, I believe, the weekend after Thanksgiving. It was suggested we get a real tree this year. So since we have the money in the budget, the Recreation Committee is going to buy the tree. And we've got to get additional decorations. I don't know how many is available here from the past years, if there's any. And then the Tree Festival is the 23rd. And at first, we didn't think that we were going to be able to have a tree for the festival. I had mentioned to the group to have one. Nobody really could do it. I did finally find somebody else that's going to help me. We're going to put it together Friday this week, because I'm having surgery next Thursday. And then she's going to take it up and put it up in the barn that Friday night. So that's all been worked out.
And that's a tree from the Recreation Committee?
Well, from the town of Grafton.
From the town, okay, I did, yeah.
Yeah, the Recreation Committee of the town. Same difference to me.
No, it is the same difference, thank you. I was happy
We
to
had
hear
one
that.
last year, and I just think it's a nice thing to show that the town is involved.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
The tree lighting is actually Friday the 6th.
Yes, the 6th, I'm sorry, I missed that date, thank you, Leanna. I just looked it up too.
Friday the 6th?
Friday the 6th,
6:30
yep.
to 8 at night.
Okay. Okay. I had it in my head it was on a Saturday, but it's not.
No,
It's on Friday the 6th. Okay.
Friday night. We're
That's in the
hoping that we'll
gazebo.
get more people on a Friday night than we did a Sunday night.
Okay.
Because, the kids don't have to go to school the next day, the parents don't have to go, hopefully, and go to work the next day. Some people do, but, but we're hoping to get more of a calm. We're hoping for good weather, or at least if we're gonna have weather, have snow. And that's about it.
Friday the 6th, and then, yes, okay, and to reiterate, the Town of Grafton Tree Festival is at Graywalk Meadows, the 23rd of November, Saturday, the 23rd of November, from 10 to 3. Hill Creek Tavern is actually gonna be there, catering, they'll have their catering truck, and there's all sorts of vendors this year and lots of trees, so hopefully everyone can make it to that. Great, okay, thanks, Recreation Committee. The Grafton Community Library.
Okay, so for October, we had 829 hardcover books checked out and 296 ebooks. Patron visits, 292 adults, 66 kids, and 5 teens. We have the belting program coming up this Saturday with 15 people already signed up. Teen program is going to be Saturday afternoon on the 23rd of November. We did receive a grant from the Troy Savings Bank for an AED. And the grant also includes to have 2 people trained, which is mandatory that to get the grant you have to have 2 people trained. So I just talked with Jeremy to find out what AED the rescue squad uses so we can be compatible. And I expect to pick it up sometime around, or get the coupon to get it in December 17th.
Great, and that'll be available when the library is open and hours.
Yeah, it'll be on the wall, so if somebody has an emergency in the library or in, any part of the library, you can just grab it and use it.
Okay, great. All right. The Merrymakers, I think they're making merry tonight down at the Everett Wager Center. So. But I do know tonight they had a program featuring Bobby Stone, our new assessor. Was it well attended?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay. All right, so that's where our Merrymakers are. And the senior citizen representative, we have Diane Payne here this evening.
Our October meeting had been canceled due to illness. Our monthly meeting is tomorrow. We have entertainment in the afternoon. Work continues on the tree we're going to put in the Festival of Trees, and talk about what donation of a toy or toys. I guess that's still what happens, correct? It's a busy time of year for everybody within the center and at home, so that's all I have.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Diane.
All right, we're on to communications received. Do you have anything? Okay, under new business, last month we announced that with the guidance of the town attorney and pursuant to our procurement policy, we started to entertain proposals to completely replace the heating system at the senior center. We presently have met with 2 different vendors. We have 1 quote that was provided, and we're going to be looking at 2 other vendors to make sure we get 3. Hopefully we can get this done shortly and in advance of the winter
Knock
system.
on wood, it's been running fine.
Yeah, right. Yeah, don't
Both
say
systems have been
that.
running fine.
Right, good, okay, so it's been nice and warm. Okay, so that continues in progress.
Thank you for that.
Any other new business? Okay, under old business, we have appointment of an ethics board member. And we actually have correspondence from our 2 sitting ethics board members now making a recommendation for the appointment of Brendan Scanlon, which we'll be making a motion later in the meeting to make that appointment. And then we'll have a full operating ethics board once again. So I appreciate the work that the ethics board did on that to conduct interviews and make recommendations. Sewer line at the town hall. Where do we stand with this?
Oh,
That's the one that keeps plugging. Nope, the one that keeps, this bathroom keeps plugging up. We were gonna have,
They were supposed to do, we got hold of them last
Yeah, I
time.
called them and they were supposed to call you or me back within 2 weeks, and I've not received a call, and it's been about 2 weeks.
is it APS?
Yeah.
Okay, they're the ones that are gonna do it, okay. Okay, you guys
She
can rattle
was
their.
trying to find time or
I'll
somebody
call
to
them
come
tomorrow.
and give it,
We got a big ground, we're digging in the,
dig it,
No.
that's what she said.
Right. Okay,
if not, we'll get another
Maybe I'll
company
just call, I'll try her again,
tomorrow or
just
something
to say, hey.
right. Okay,
Do we
and
need
that,
extra bids for that?
Under the procurement, what do you expect the cost to be?
No idea.
If it's under the procurement policy, it depends on what the price is. Because like what Doug's working on, we're talking mid 15, 14,000 maybe. He has to try and solicit pre-written bids. Now, he's already done everything he had to do, but he only got the one bid in, and another person is having a bid on the way. But he'd like to get 2 more, just to have a good variety for you guys to work on. Now, he knows this is getting to be near an emergency status, but he wants to try and get those extra couple of bids. Now, that would apply on a purchase like this, which is really, they're gonna install it and everything else, so up to 35,000, he's gonna be okay doing it this way. So if it's more than 35,000 for public works, then you have to bid it out formally, or you could piggyback on another municipality.
okay, so it's gonna depend on what they come back with for
Digging in
cost.
like material and the labor,
Right.
the way I understand it.
Is there any chance of getting highway help to dig?
It would, the septic.
Yeah.
Like, everybody in this room has volunteered to. but-
I'll bring my shovel.
Yeah, everybody
Already
has
spent
volunteered.
$4,000 this year on repairs.
Just
Right, yeah, the town clerk's
when
been
John
on.
went in.
Your present duties are 120.
The issue is this
Fix that.
toilet backs up all the time, and every time they come and clean it out, it's clogged, so it needs to be replaced and have it.
It's like tilted, right, or is that an angle?
Used a new one next door.
It's the new one, yeah,
It's the same line.
The problem is the line has
Yeah,
got
private.
dip in it. So the fluid and everything stays in there and it builds up, and it's an old cast line because you ran cameras through it, so. What they have to do, the problem being is there's a slab under the supervisor's office that we have to go through and under. So that's the crux of if we can bore up through and dig to the other line.
I'm thinking you're gonna be under 35,000 though, so it's
Yeah.
probably trying to solicit 3 written quotes.
Okay, all right, Councilwoman DeShane and Councilwoman Wachowski will follow up with that tomorrow?
Yes,
Okay,
I'm
okay.
home tomorrow.
Before the ground freezes? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, we've been working for a while since April 4th, when we had a windstorm that blew the cupola and some related parts off the top of the senior center and destroyed the garbage area. And I believe at one point we did get a quote from that, from Travis Copeland?
Yes.
Okay. The county actually has a $10,000 deductible, and I don't believe that, Travis's quote was that high. I actually called him this afternoon and to tell him to please get up there and get it done. I had a conversation with the county where we'll submit the bill to aging or, to CJ, the county attorney, and they can take a look at it, but I assured them it wasn't going to be, but 10,000 is a big deductible.
So what was his availability?
I don't, he hasn't called me
Oh, you
back,
didn't
so
talk
I
to
don't,
him.
yes, I didn't talk to
Yeah, and I
him.
talked to him
Nope.
in the last meeting, but you said that the county was all set or whatever.
Yep, they are set, we just have to,
Because I heard I think he's working out of town.
they're not gonna submit it
Parker
to,
was called.
Oh, is
he's in Hoosick, okay, the county's not gonna submit it to the carrier. Because they have such a high deductible, so we'll just take care of it ourselves. But that needs to be done before winter, before snow flies. And then also the handicap ramp on the senior center,
I
what's,
did talk to him about that also.
okay,
Take a look at it, it's not a simple fix of propping the board up. It's probably gonna turn into a hornet's nest when you pull that all up, it's probably all rotted. Just sand, the whole thing sand. So we have to get under there and all the boards have to come off and be replaced. And then see what the other structure looks like. Same as the post office. It's rotted underneath it, it sank.
this is down at the end?
Yeah, there's
I
one
felt like,
step.
remember we did it, Jared? We worked on that. Wasn't it the concrete there or something?
It's been a couple
It was-
of years, I
I
don't
think it
remember.
was
I know we did it, but I don't remember
That was
everything.
right.
Mm.
Underneath it?
Not buckled,
No?
it sank.
Oh, it sank?
So we either, the stringers are gone or something.
Okay. Well,
He said he would look at it
Hopefully
when he
he'll
was
get
up
on it.
there because he has to come back and do a couple
it
of
is
things
bad.
like the post office.
It is
Yeah, it's
bad.
dropped down about a
Right.
quarter, half an inch.
Okay, so we're working on that as well.
These are together.
Okay, and then I also had under old business, as we mentioned earlier, the completion of the rescue squad bathroom. So, and I do have a bill for that. I'll submit that to the town clerk for entertainment. Mr. Bonesteel sent it to me via email yesterday. Okay, any other old business? All right, we're on to public comment, privilege of the floor. Public comment is limited to 5 minutes per person. Be mindful the public comment portion of the meeting is a privilege. All comments and statements shall be directed to the town board. Please refrain from any personal attacks, name calling, or derogatory public comments toward individuals. Okay, who'd like to start? Pat Bush.
Okay, on election day, we had quite a few people come in and they were kind of complaining because the voting wasn't at the school, that it was back here and it's crowded here, and they kind of liked it at the school. But then we were also told that the board, and I need clarification on this because I did miss 1 or 2 meetings, that the board decided that the voting will take place in town hall and not at the school. So is that an accurate statement, or is that just?
It's not a board decision. It's not a board decision. There's a section of election law that provides that a candidate or a public official cannot own a polling place. And although we were able to use the school during COVID, and I think everyone agrees the school is a great venue for voting, because Mr. Witkowski at the time was running for a council seat, you cannot own a polling place and be a candidate. It's just against the law. I think it's 4-104 of election law, if I'm not mistaken. So the Board of Elections actually made that call when they realized that Tom was.
Okay, so it had nothing to do with the board.
The board
You
has
have
New York
people,
state law.
well, you have a person going around saying stuff like that. So I just, wanted to clarify
First
it.
I heard of it.
So,
No, this is the first I've heard
Oh,
of it.
well. Oh, no. Yeah, when the voters.
I was also told
When
that
the
people were
voters
mailed
asked.
out.
I'm sorry, what?
I was told that people were mailed out cards to go vote at the school.
Oh, I
had
don't
some
know
of my
about
people-
that.
They showed people I deliver meals to, Ginny.
Yeah.
She showed me the
Yeah.
card that it told her to go there.
But when people were asking at election day, this person was telling them that the board voted on it. So I just wanted to
No.
clarify that. It has nothing to do with the board, right? So
Nothing.
we can give correct information at another time when it comes up. Okay, thank you.
It was just last year because I was running.
Hmm?
Because I was running last year, you couldn't use the building, because I own the building.
Right,
Simple.
And now you're an elected official.
but,
So we still can't use
but,
it.
yeah, right, okay.
So we still can't.
Yeah, but I just wanted to clarify that it was not the board, it's a board of elections,
Yes.
because misinformation shouldn't be given out.
It's state law, right,
Okay.
it's New York state law,
Thank you.
yes. Yes, Kathy Swoda.
Another issue that came up on election day, and understandably Becky had posted that the offices were closed, the office, and there's a closed sign there, but people were being confused. And there's also, people brought up that there's nothing indicating that that door is handicap accessible, that's the door to use. So unfortunately, people were hobbling into this door. So we were asked, why can't you post something, saying that that is the handicap exit on the outside of the building, so it makes it clear, and maybe next, when there's election, to have it specifically say, town offices are closed, but the door is, people can access and come in here through that door. Because they just assume it's closed, it was locked, and apparently they weren't even trying the door.
I didn't post that notice that it was
Oh,
closed. The court posted that they were closed.
I don't know. Well, people were asking if there was gonna be court that night too, which
Yeah,
Yeah.
that happens.
I don't know. My second question is, could one of the three of you please explain why, when Steve stepped down, you easily appointed Becky to be up in that seat, but here you have someone who is elected by the people, by a very good amount, and why there can be no agreement to allow her to fill the vacant seat. So I'm sure other people might want to understand that as well. So this is just another question that gets ignored and no one has an answer for why there's no second motion to do it?
I'm just going with when we left the seat, available, unavailable, whatever, however you want to do it. We said until the election, so that would be the first. That's my feeling, that's why I did what I did.
It's empty now.
Just another month, she's on. Nothing personal, nothing like that, it's just,
But why
Just
fill
my
it back
opinion.
then? Why not just leave it? And why, it's only a month, let her fill the seat?
We didn't fill it when Becky
I
resigned.
didn't,
Excuse
We
me?
didn't fill it when Becky resigned.
No, but you did fill it when Steve
That
resigned.
was it was a good portion of the year. It was one meeting. And traditionally, when the elected official is the first of the year.
Well, when Becky resigned, there was really nobody eligible to do it until they elected Nancy. So now, being she was elected, why shouldn't she be up there now? I mean, you have a resolution that said, I think, the end of the resolution about, was it once or twice was rejected or whatever, towards the end of the resolution? Did it say something like that? Did they vote on it once or,
No second, it didn't, the
Just-
resolution didn't get a second. And you're
Okay.
talking about tonight?
yeah,
Yeah,
when you
it
read in
didn't.
that resolution,
Yeah,
yeah.
there was no second to move it forward. When you have a resolution, someone moves it and then you have to have a
'Cause
second
does-
to keep it moving.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. She got elected, the position is there, she should be in that position. No comments? Just,
I would just make a comment, just a comment to thank Councilwoman-elect LaRock and also Chris Von Schilgen for stepping up to run. It was a good, healthy competition. It was a fair fight, if you will. They conducted themselves as a gentlewoman and a gentleman, and I think it was great the town had options. And I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, Nancy LaRock got more votes than anyone in the history of town. I think she surpassed Allison Kirchner by like 80 votes, and Allison was our all-time leading vote getter. So I'd like to just say it was a good, clean election, and I'm looking forward to next year.
but like with the board, the way it is right now, just 4, I mean, I know it's only another month, but if something came up and it was 2 and 2, what's the tiebreaker? I mean, you need another person up there now. And especially because she was elected. So, I mean, I don't understand it.
Thank you. Keith Sweet in the back.
You have a situation where Doug is your deputy and Nancy's coming on after January 1st as a council person. Do you have a situation there where there's a conflict of interest?
It's a good question. When Nancy announced her candidacy, Keith, I asked that question of the Association of Towns. I believe I'm.
You didn't ask me? The answer is no.
Yeah, no,
In fact,
there's
there's
no.
many municipalities where you have 2 elected, husband and wife, on the boards.
But,
Wow.
So in and of itself, Doug being deputy is not a conflict with his wife being on the board.
A good question, thank you.
they just have to be careful what they would have to vote on if they
But he
were.
can't vote.
No, I know, if they were on the board.
Your husband went and imagine that.
Well, for
Bill-
example, no, Jody, for example, if you were to propose paying Doug, because he's working for free,
Right,
so if you were to propose paying him, Nancy couldn't vote on that resolution.
right. Good
But
question.
it can,
All right, anyone else? Joe Elaine.
I may be mistaken, but I think that voting on the town board, the supervisor is supposed to be a tiebreaker, should there ever be a.
No, not on the town board. You can look it up.
Okay, I will. You'll try. The other question I have is for Becky, if, well, addressed to the town board. The website is not easy to read. Maybe it's my old age or my computer. The left side is like not even there almost. Town board, supervisor, all them clickable items. I don't know whether anybody else finds it that way, but if the font could be darkened. And my other statement would be to the town board, through the rescue squad. I know manpower is limited in this day and age, and I do not feel that we should be going down to post and kill for answering their calls. It is not mutual aid. Mutual aid is when they can reciprocate. They cannot, because they do not have an ambulance to answer calls in Grafton. And the town of Post and Kill gets a free ride for ambulance service. They're getting ambulance service when they can from Mohawk. They don't have a budget line for, like we, $30,000 for an ambulance. They pay nothing in that town. So I would always like to go to somebody that needs the aid, but if you could bring it back to the rescue squad, I don't think it's benefiting the town people that they should be out of town, taking care of a town that doesn't even care to support an ambulance on their own, nor can they reciprocate.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Jeff. Anyone else tonight on the floor? Robert Loveday.
Once again, the Town Hall Streaming Company has a great product. And some of you on the board are against it, I am sure, because I'm not hearing any cheers for streaming. But you are elected officials paid by the other 1,900 residents of the town to disseminate information and also make decisions. So again, you really need to pass this $500 a year. Let's see, what is that? That's $500 a month would be $6,000 a year. So, you know, $18,000 is 3 years of public information sent to the residents. That doesn't seem like a lot of money given the weight of what the product is. It's everything that the town is talking about and making decisions on. Well, that's what that money is exchanged for. So it's really important and it's fair, right? I mean, it's fair to tell people what is going on. I really urge you to bring up that service into the budget and get this company to put in equipment. You've heard it from a lot of other people and not just me. So I would appreciate you going forward with that service. Thank you.
Thank you. Just to piggyback on that, I'd like to encourage the board, the company's called Town Hall Streams, if I'm not mistaken, or Town Hall Streams. Just Google it and watch a meeting that way.
I have.
We're having them taped anyway, so through various, Mrs. Calabra's been doing it and the town clerk's been doing it, but just watch those, you know, that
I
it's,
have looked at it.
so it's professional and, yeah, gotcha.
I think it's a lot of money.
Okay.
I think we're fine. Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Okay, all right, thank you again, Mr. Loveday. Okay, who else from the floor? John Munn.
Last month, the dog control officer indicated that there are problems, changes in laws related to impounding dogs. They don't have a solution in Rensselaer County because they hide their heads in the sand about figuring out ways to manage dog control. And Mohawk Hudson is running out of space and they're denying contracts to municipalities. So my question to you is, has this board discussed any solutions or any approaches in the last month to try to solve the problem? That's all.
We haven't with each other. I mean, we all know it's an issue, you know. I don't think Rensselaer County's, I don't think they're putting their head in the sand. I think they're earnestly trying to come up with something, some way to mitigate the problem. I know Troy has recently put in
That's what David was saying
Yeah.
last meeting.
Troy has put in a kennel sort of situation. And I do know Vicky's working on it. She's trying to come up with ways to come up with some sort of solution. But
Right, but
Yeah.
I think it requires more than just Vicky looking at it. I think it has to be more of a cooperative, all-encompassing discussion, because you might have to build a kennel. You might want to go in with other towns. Having a dog out in an area might require vet care. You know, so all these things have to be considered, and I think it's beyond just dog controls officers' purview to resolve the problem. They can do some research and background, but because of the money that might be involved and the issues and coordination that might be required, I think it's incumbent on this board, for the council, to work possibly with other towns, with Petersburg, Poston, Kill, Pittstown. Everybody has the same problem, and the county can't get off the dime with it. So it's a problem, and maybe we're centrally located. But it might be something to grab the bull by the horns.
I don't want to jinx us, and Grafton has a big history of
Don't say
Grafton has a big history.
We're one of the few municipalities in the whole county.
Right, that we have a safe place for our dogs to land. We're under contract with Columbia Green, and we're grandfathered in. They are not taking any new municipalities, but they do honor Grafton, and Vicky's had a great relationship with them to date, and I trust that that'll continue because she's an excellent professional at her job. That said, I don't want to jinx us that Grafton doesn't have a huge problem with dogs being surrendered, but we're always willing to cooperate with other municipalities around. But you just mentioned some big ticket items: building a kennel, vet care, staff. How much does Grafton want to take on when we're already in a good spot?
Right.
You know what I mean?
If I may, Madam Supervisor, his point is well taken. As many of you probably know, we had an incident in Troy just recently with the dog biting one of our workers down there. The city of Troy and the city of Rensselaer have had dogs being dropped off from other areas right and left. So they are starting to look, and I would imagine Troy's going to lead the way on looking for a regional, facility. The other supervisors, and I think you too have probably talked a bit, because they have, about where to go. Poston Kill and Sand Lake actually started to look at building it, or having a facility, not building it. So there is movement forward. The county itself is not obligated to have a humane society. They've tried to help to the extent they can, but it's mostly been moving forward through the different municipalities and towns in the two cities. So it is moving forward, but you guys are the only ones that are in with Columbia Green.
Are we? The only ones in the county?
From Rensselaer
From
County.
Rensselaer County, wow.
Yeah. And everybody else has been kind of kicked out of the Humane Society. Capital Agway, I don't know if you heard, at the end of the year is, which is going to hurt terribly. So they are frantically looking around.
Just curious, how far is Columbia Green's facility from here?
I defer to Becky, but it's it's kind of northern Columbia County.
Yeah.
It's a drive. It is a drive.
Probably like an hour, probably.
Each way?
15 minutes.
No, it wouldn't be each way.
Yeah, each
Yeah, each
Yeah,
way.
okay.
It's like, I don't know, 52 miles, I think.
Right.
Like an hour.
Luckily, we're not anywhere near like Troy and Rensselaer where there's dogs every day get dropped off. But it is an issue. I'm not disagreeing. It is an issue. But I'm sure our supervisor's going to work with the other supervisors and look at different alternatives.
Thank you. Diane Payne.
Just a point, we don't know what Vicky's been hearing at these classes she's been taking.
What she's been hearing?
Yeah, well, what, she's been taking classes with dog control. So we don't know what that all amounts to yet either.
Right.
She might be having something she can come bring back from it.
Okay, good point, yes. Anyone else? Okay. Ann Calabro.
Okay, so I want to say thank you for addressing the furnace at the senior center. I was there one day, it was pretty warm out still, it was a couple weeks ago, and the temperature in the building was over 75, and they're like, we can't touch the thermostat, we can't do anything, so we ended up opening the door to let some cooler air in. So it'll be really nice to have something that works that we can adjust. Second of all, the town
streaming of the meetings. The streaming, I don't know if they're actually streaming it now. But the YouTube site for the town usually gets about under 10 visitors, 10 people that watch. I've gotten as many as 962 on mine. People are watching. And I just wanted to let you know that what I'm doing is helping. People are watching. And then the last thing is, you guys all should be ashamed that you can't put Nancy on for the 1 month that Ingrid asked for. I'm disgusted that you guys can't just say yes. Just say yes. What difference does it make for the 1 month? It's 1 month, and she was elected. You certainly did it for Becky. You should have done it here now. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else? Okay, all right, thank you, everyone, thank you. Okay, we have, under motions and resolutions tonight, we have a resolution to move the preliminary budget to the final budget of 2025. But we're going to start with making a modification.
I think the board, after listening to the public, would like to make a motion to modify the tentative budget as is about to be stated by the supervisor.
Okay, thank you. The modification as suggested from the public hearing tonight is to increase the veteran services contractual expense line item by $1,000, by $500 was suggested, but the board said $1,000, and this money would be sent toward the veterans in order to replace veterans banners that have become unreadable and to get them back up to speed. So we would be adding $1,000 to the contractual expense. That is line item A6510.4 in the veteran services. So that will be adjusted from 700 to 1,700, and then we'll be moving money from the youth program equipment line item, which is A7310.2. That's presently at 4,000. We'll be reducing that to 3,000 to come up to for the 1,000 for veterans. This doesn't make any change at all to the budget other than moving money around in the line items.
And tax levy is not affected.
The tax levy is not affected by this this change to the preliminary budget. So I'd like to make a motion that we make that amendment to the preliminary budget, as I just stated. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Councilwoman DeShane.
Yep.
Okay, Councilwoman DeShane.
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt.
Yes.
Councilman Kuski.
Yes.
Supervisor Thunder.
Yes. Right. And then we have the resolution adopting the budget for tonight. So whereas state law requires towns to prepare and adopt a budget as a condition precedent to collecting revenues and incurring expenses, and whereas the town caused to be published in the town newspaper and placed on the town bulletin board and town website notice of public hearings, listing the time and place of public hearings to consider the 2025 town budget, and whereas the town council conducted such public hearings as noticed, and whereas after such public hearings, the town board considered the 2025 town budget and any applicable amendments thereto, and whereas having complied with the state requirements for notice, public hearing, and posting, and whereas the town board proposes to amend its 2025 town budget and adopt such 2025 town budget as amended. Now therefore be it resolved that the 2025 preliminary town budget be amended as indicated on the attachment hereto, and that such amended 2025 town budget is hereby adopted.
Madam Supervisor, may I recommend we change the verbiage slightly to indicate not as amended on the attachment thereto, but as amended orally at this meeting just before this resolution is moved. Because you actually did it
Yep.
right before.
Amended orally, tell me again?
Amended orally at this meeting.
Immediately previous to?
Immediately
Okay.
previous here.
Gotcha, okay. Okay, I'm just going to read the last line then of this resolution. Now therefore be it resolved that the 2025 preliminary town budget be amended, as amended orally
Yes.
immediately previous to this, and that such amended 2025 town budget is hereby adopted.
There you go.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt the 2025 budget. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Cuskey. Councilwoman DeShane?
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt?
Yes.
Councilman Cuskey?
Supervisor Gunn.
Yes. Okay. Great. Okay, yes, thank the board for all your work on this. Thank you. Okay, we also have a ethics board appointment. Motion? Can we do it by motion?
You can do it by motion.
Okay. We have received a recommendation to appoint Brendan Scanlon to the vacant seat on the ethics board. That recommendation came from the sitting members, Mr. Raymond and Mr. Smith. I'd like to make a motion that Brendan Scanlon is hereby appointed to the town ethics board. May I have a second?
I'll second.
And could we note that the term will end, whatever John was the predecessor, right? Will end whenever John's term was to end.
Do they have term limits on the ethics board? No.
Not term limits, but there's definite terms. So whatever their term is.
Indefinite.
You sure when you amended, you didn't put in definite terms?
No, they're not definite terms, but yeah.
Then you don't need that provision. Go with it as you stated.
Okay, so again, I'd like to make a motion that the town board appoints Brendan Scanlon to the vacant position on the ethics board. May I have a second?
I second.
Seconded by Councilwoman DeShane. Councilwoman DeShane?
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt?
Yes.
Councilman Cuskey?
Yes.
And Supervisor Gunn? Yes. All right. I don't believe we have any other motions. I think we've covered everything. So I'd like to make a motion that we pay the bills this evening. We have vouchers number 388 through 422 for a total of $198,562.24. I'd like to make a motion to pay the bills this evening. May I have a second? Seconded by Councilman Hoyt. Okay. Councilwoman DeShane?
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt?
Yes.
And Councilman Cuskey?
Yes.
Yes. Me too.
Sorry.
Okay,
Supervisor Gunn.
Yes, thank you. Okay, our next meeting is December 9th, 2024. That's our regular town board meeting, 7 PM here. Does anyone have anything for legislative privilege this evening? No? Under that, I'd just like to do a big reminder, the Christmas Tree Festival, Graywalk Meadows, the 23rd of November, Saturday, 10 to 3, and also the tree lighting in the town park, Friday, December 6th at 6:30 PM. Okay, that's great.
I
Okay.
don't know if this is legislative privilege, I'm gonna ask anyway. Can we have job descriptions for the new, because we have a deputy tax collector, and then whatever the title is going to be for the secretary, and a job description for those, so that when we post for our next meeting, so we can make a list of what we need to post in the paper for our next meeting. Can we have a list of?
What we need to post.
Correct. Well, and maybe we can figure out when our year-end meeting is going to be also, and we can put it all in one, get it all in on time, so we're not trying to scramble at the last minute.
Okay. Okay, the town clerk's asking for the date of the year-end meeting to be decided upon, and then job descriptions. I'm sure we can get those from civil service, that's our county, their existing positions, so. And the deputy tax collector is not a deputy so much as it supports staff. She might have phrased it as deputy, but she was just looking to have support staff paid to help her during.
If somebody calls Irene over at the civil, you know Irene.
Yeah, sure.
She'll send out the descriptions for these
But are they
different titles.
Okay. So what is the So we're not, it's not a deputy tax collector?
It was just support.
Just
right?
support staff,
Because
just-
of what happened last year, right?
All right.
I don't know.
Okay. That's the way.
I don't think she's being used all year round, right?
No, she wouldn't be a deputy,
Right.
no, it's just support staff to help processing. Last year, there were many complications between entities
We
that,
ended up paying out.
yes.
Yeah.
All right, anyone else, legislative privilege? Executive session, we're good? No? Okay, all right, I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn this meeting, may I have a second? All in favor? Aye. Okay. All right, thank you everyone for coming tonight. Congratulations on. Good night.
I know you were very interested.
I'll be checking that thing on the
Oh,